to all my subscribers, welcome back to my channel Sew It Craft It. Wow, it's been some time since I've actually posted anything on here, but so much has gone on in the past few months. But I will actually update you as to what's been going on with me when I post out the part 2 rewind review, the sewing foots that came with your machine. Now in the meantime, I had a shout out from Taiwo, initial OF, asking for this tutorial. So Taiwo, this is for you and to the rest of my subscribers out there, and my apologies for taking a little time to get there with it. Now I'm actually going to go through and I'm going to review 4 of the error codes that I'm aware of that we get on the Uten machine. However, if you know of any others or you've had any others come up, then do let me know in the comments below. Now let's look at the first error code, which is the LO code. When you get this bleep, this means that your bobbin thread, your fabric and your top thread are entangled. Now this is the most annoying code that will ever happen on the Uten machine. But this is not just for the Uten machine. If you get any type of jamming, I'm going to take you through what you need to do. Now first of all, the first thing we'd want to do is to try and force it by using the hand wheel. Stop. Don't do that. What we need to do is to cut away the thread away from the fabric and use the scissors that work. This one is rubbish. The other thing not to do is to try and then pull the thread out from the needle plate, and don't attempt to open the bobbin and pull the thread out that way. You don't want to damage any of the mechanism out there. Instead, get your little key that came with the sewing machine and you will need to unscrew the needle plate. Lefty-loosey on this. Yes, there's a terminology, lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. Well, we're lefty-loosing at the moment. I normally give about 2 turns and then I would use my finger to release the rest of the screw. Once that is done, you need to gently remove the needle plate, and oh wow, I have really tangled this. I'll just use my needle picker here so you can actually see. Look at it. I think I did a pretty good job in getting that tangled. Now what you need to do is just to gently start to cut away the threads from the entangled bobbin. So you can cut away the needle thread. I don't know why I'm using the scissors, just a minute. Okay, do get one that works. So I'm going to use the stitch picker to continue this. So I'm just cutting a bit of thread. I've just taken the thread out of the needle. I'm going to just cut that away. And as you can see, I'm again, I use a needle picker. Unfortunately, I'm not in my current area where I normally do my recording, so I'm a bit short of actually trying to find a decent cutting implement. But the is doing well. Anyway, let's continue to remove all the tangled thread within the machine. And again, be gentle. Now, I think at that last point, I did dislodge the bobbin compartment. And yes, I have dislodged it. And wow, look at that. It's actually still tangled within the bobbin compartment. Okay, so just remove your bobbin and you'll actually find that you can see there it's still tangled. Don't pull it. You don't want to damage any of the mechanism here inside the bobbin. Instead, just cut it off. And once you've done that, and you've separated it, so one bobbin undetangled from the bobbin compartment. Now this is a brilliant opportunity to give your machine a clean. So with the brush that came with the machine, I think it was attached to the stitch picker, go through and give it a nice good clean. Now guys, you can't sort of see from this angle, but there is a lot of dust on here. Oh my gosh, I couldn't tell you the last time I actually done this. It's really important that you know, at least do this once a week. If you use your machine 8 hours a day, every day, then I would suggest that you give it a really good clean. I've got a brush here that I'm going to use, and yes, it's a paintbrush, but it does the job just as good. Just make sure that the one that you get, the bristles don't come flying off the brush. The last thing you need is bristles up and down your machine. So let me just move this thread out the way because it's always getting a little bit in my way, and I'll just pop off the presser foot there and give it a really, really good clean. Now, in all fairness, if you use your machine 8 hours a day, every day, I would suggest you do this every 2 days. Less than that, once a week will be suffice. But don't let it build up like I've done here. Now, once you've done that, you're going to want to pop the bobbin compartment in, but also give that a little clean. Again, do be gentle. You don't want to damage any of the components inside of that. Then next is to pop it back in with this ledge towards the back of the machine. There's also a little notch. I don't know if you can see that. That little notch will actually butt up to a metal, almost a little springboard just at the side here. You've also got a groove where the bobbin compartment will actually sit. So just place it in. It can be a bit fiddly, but you will get there, and you'll know when it's in because it will sit quite snugly in there. And once you've actually got that in, you know you've got it in securely, because when you move it to the right a little bit, you can see it butting up against that little silver springboard. I have no idea what it's called, but that's what helps the bobbin go sort of left and right without swinging all the way around. Next, you're going to give your kneader plate a nice little clean there, and then pop that back on, and it gently does it. So once you've got that on, you want to now put your screws back, and hopefully you'd actually put your screw in a good place, because you need it to actually put it back on to the kneader plate to stop it from moving. And then we're going to righty-tighty. Normally I would again go ahead and do a couple of turns with my finger and then finish it off with the key. Once that is done, you can open up just to check that the kneader plate is sitting correctly. Now to add back the bobbin, remember the tail of the thread is on your left. Pop that in, bring it around, swing it around there, and you hear the click, and that's ready to go. Now the next thing that's really important is to ensure that you rethread your machine. Okay, if you want to know how to thread the machine, then just have a look at my video, the Uten tutorial, and it will take you through on how to thread your machine. Then the next thing I do is then hold the top thread in my left hand and using the up and down button to pull the bobbin thread up. There we go. Done. Once you've done that, replace your bobbin cover and your foot. And now let's see if this has resolved the machine and if it's working again. Let's test it out with a piece of fabric, and let's hear. And listen to that. That is beautiful. And that's how to resolve LO error code of when your fabric, your bobbin and your top thread jams. Okay, so the next one we're going to look at is the FC code. Now what that means is that the foot cord, when plugged in, is overriding the start and stop button. Easy to resolve. just take out and press your start and stop button and off you go. When you want to use the foot pedal, plug the foot cord back into the machine. Next error code is BL. Now what that means, it's in conjunction with your button foot. It means that the lever just here is down. It's pulled out or it's halfway down, either way. To resolve that, all you need to do is to push it back up. That's the first one. And we stitch away. Of course, I haven't got the button foot on. The second way is if you've selected your buttonhole stitch and it's bleeping at you. What that means is that you've not pulled the button hole lever down. So you will need to pull that, position it in between your buttonhole foot, and that will resolve that error code, and you should be able to continue and stitch along. Again, if you want to see how to use the buttonhole foot, then do refer to the Uten tutorial. Now the next code we're going to look at is the backward C or the backward bracket. Now if you turn on your machine and you get this backward error code, what that basically means is that you've got your bobbin shaft winding engaged. So all you need to do is just push it back to the left and you've disengaged it. Now to be quite honest with you, this is not an error as per se, but I've been caught out on it when I travel with machine. So I would normally push the bobbin shaft winder to the right. I suppose I do it for safe travelling. Now guys, that's it. Those are the 4 error codes that I'm aware of. As said before, if you know of any others, do let me know and leave me a comment down below. I will be back at you guys with the part 2 rewind review, the foots that came with your sewing machine. So until then, thank you for watching. Stay safe. I'll see you in my next video.